Who was the first to lead efforts back to Africa? Good day to you, Africa fans. Hope everyone is enjoying Black History Month and relearning the historical facts of African Native people. Now, did you know that many of the African American civil rights leaders and activists traveled to Africa during the struggles for equality in the United States? Well, they did, mainly to reconnect to their roots and explore possibilities, as well as share their personal experiences with other Americans back in the United States, particularly other African Americans. Way before W.E.B. Dubois' trip to Ghana, and way before Muhammad Ali's trips to Nigeria, Liberia, and Senegal, and way before Malcom X's trips to Egypt, Sudan, and Nigeria, and Ghana, even way before Walter Rodney's trip to Zimbabwe, and certainly way before Marcus Garvey's efforts to encourage trips and return to Africa, there was a man named Paul Couffee. Have you heard of him? Well, let me share more about him with you, as I'm sure many of you have not heard of him yet. Paul Couffee was a Black abolitionist who is the earliest known person to lead the first Black initiated Back to Africa movement in the United States and broader diaspora. Paul Couffee was a wealthy entrepreneur of his time, a sea captain businessman, and history records him as being listed as one of the earliest richest Black Americans of his era. He was born way back in 1759 in southern Massachusetts, born into a large family, and was one of 10 kids of freed, enslaved parents. Their origins were Ashanti of Ghana. Couffee's personal goals and dreams in adulthood was to foster and encourage the journey back to Africa for all freed, enslaved people, one based on trade and immigration. He planned on the journeys to be by ship, hence his sea captain experience. He planned to use a vessel each year to the country of Sierra Leone in West Africa, transporting African Americans and goods to the colony and bringing back African goods back to the U.S. as well. So why Sierra Leone? Let's go back a bit in history. Before America was America, it was a British colony until the Revolutionary War came. And during that time, enslaved Africans were encouraged to leave their masters to join the British Army. And in return, those African American loyalists were encouraged and sometimes helped to settle in Nova Scotia, a Canadian province island. Many of them did move there after the British lost to the Americans during the Revolutionary War. Almost all of the freed enslaved who did settle in Nova Scotia could not stand the harsh winter conditions and had petitioned themselves to be relocated to Sierra Leone, Africa, once they heard about Couffee's initiative. In 1811, Couffee founded the Friendly Society of Sierra Leone, which was a cooperative Afro group meant to encourage the Black settlers of Sierra Leone, as well as natives of Africa in general, to cultivate their goods to one another. A year later, in 1812, Couffee returned to the U.S., visiting the cities of Philadelphia, New York, and Baltimore to create and form the African Institution. He created branches in each of these cities and coordinated Black immigration movements to Sierra Leone, Africa. His efforts among the Black diaspora in the U.S. and UK gained major popularity, especially amongst other wealthy Black leaders who were free in the northern regions. 3 years later, around 1815, Couffee was successful in transporting approximately 40 African Americans from the U.S. to Sierra Leone on his own ship. The travel took about 2 months. These were the first African Americans who willingly moved back to Africa through the initiatives of Paul Couffee. Paul Couffee's efforts were sabotaged by those who did not want to see African Americans to go back and forth even. Thousands were prepared to move and were convinced that the move was no good for them. And eventually, the spread of false information spread to the point of all African Americans of that time rejecting the plan or the interest to move, as they were led to believe that it was a wicked plan of some sorts, when it wasn't. 2 years after his successful transfer of folks to Africa, Paul Couffee died in 1817. And decades later, other Black leaders came, like Henry Highland Garnett, Martin Delany, and Marcus Garvey, revived Couffee's efforts with their own plans. And unfortunately, they all died before their individual dreams and efforts were fully fulfilled. But their history and efforts must not be forgotten. Now, did you learn something new from my sharing today? Chime in with your comments or questions below in the comment section. Thank you all once again for returning to my channel. And for those new to my channel, please subscribe and like so I can continue to bring you more interesting facts about the continent of Africa. Be well, everyone. Until next time, peace and love to you. Bye-bye.